Hey guys, your boy Shaw Bellamy back with another episode of Philly Eagles Talk on my channel. And man, listen, I've been an Eagles fan for a very long time, yo, and it's been a long time since I've just been able to sit back and watch the Eagles game and not have to stress and be like, oh my goodness, what the hell are they doing? They're gonna give us a heart attack. Philly, come on, Eagles, play like y'all got some sense. It's been a long time, yo, and tonight, oh my goodness, it just felt so good. I'm gonna sleep so well. I'm going to sleep very good tonight, man. That's all I got to say, yo. The Eagles dominated the Minnesota Vikings to improve to 2-0. They beat the Vikings 24-7. Coming into this game, I definitely thought it was going to be kind of like an offensive onslaught thing, with the Vikings having, Kirk Cousins leading them at quarterback, but Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook and them dudes versus our offense with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders. I thought it was going to be an offensive juggernaut fight. No disrespect to the defenses. And I thought in the end, whoever was going to win the game, it was going to come down to which defense was going to make enough stops. We didn't have to worry about that. On both offense and defense, our team, the Eagles, offensive and defensively, dominated. They really punched the Vikings in the mouth early. The Vikings just could not recover. It looked like they was completely gassed. Like they just had no more heart in it. Like they just wanted to get on the next plane and go to hell home. Back to Minnesota. We took the fight out of them early. It all started in the first drive when we got the ball, and Jalen Hurts, I believe, was like 5 for 5 or 6 for 6, and finished with a rushing touchdown. He was like perfect that drive. He made the right reads and all the other stuff, but I'll talk about Jalen in a little bit. And then our defense, so we went up 7-0. Then our defense came out and forced a 3-and-out. Justin Jefferson was getting locked up by Darius Slay. I'll go over that as well in a little bit. But overall, man, it was just from beginning to end, it was fun to watch, dude. And it's been so long since we've got to do that. Again, I know it's only week 2, but listen, as far as today is concerned, it was so much fun to watch and just really nice to just be able to sit back and enjoy a win like this. As far as, let's go over the good and the bad. Also we do here on when I give y'all my thoughts on the game, whatever. I got my tablet here, so quickly let's get this out the way. As far as with the good, let's get out the way with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts played excellent tonight, damn near perfect. I believe he was 10-10 at one point with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. He threw a 53-yard dime. It was a dime right to Quez Watkins, the Eagles wide receiver, for a touchdown to put the Eagles up 14-0. He had also another rushing touchdown before the end of the half to, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 minutes left in the second quarter, which was a hell of a run. He just would not be denied to get to the end zone. You got to go back and watch the highlight yourself to put the Eagles up 21. I believe the Eagles were going up that time 21-7. Then we got a field goal to go 24-7 at half, and then basically we did not need to score any more points the rest of the game. But Jalen Hurts was great, man. Like, for all those people out there that literally come at this dude by his accuracy and what he don't do and everything like that, those people are going to be in their little holes tonight, because if they poke their heads out and say anything bad about Jalen, then they're just going to be showing how much they are haters and fucking trolls. There's nothing you could say about Jalen Hurts' performance tonight. He looked like a franchise quarterback. I have been one of those people that have been very outspoken about Jalen Hurts. I never thought he was trash or anything, but I always thought it was very premature that everybody was saying he's the franchise guy. I just said, let's see what he can do. And listen, he's proven to me. I know it's only 2 weeks. I know you want to see him get better and better, but that's the main thing I see with Jalen Hurts, is that every week he's getting better and better. He's just constantly improving. First of all, as a leader, he having real like 100% control of the offense. He's in control when he's out there. He's not trying to do too much. He's what you need as a franchise quarterback. And it's at a young age where you can clearly see he's progressing in the right direction. So look, that was the best game. If you watched it, go back and watch it. Don't just pay attention to the highlights. Go back and watch what he did against it, because he carved up the Minnesota Vikings defense. They had no answer for him. He could either put a ball on the ground. People always talk about his running, but he was throwing some dimes out there. He was getting to the right players that were open. Devontae Smith to spread out to A.J. Brown. Dallas Goedert got involved. This dude, Jalen Hurts, had a hell of a game, man. He did have one interception. I believe it was late in the fourth quarter, but I honestly don't count the interception. I hate that they put that on the quarterback stat line. And what I mean by that is he tried to throw a screen pass to Kenneth Gainswell, the Eagles' backup running back, a third-string running back, But Kenneth Gainwell, it was right there. It was literally a pass right there. Jalen, I think, tried to jump off 1 foot, but it was really right there. And Kenneth let the ball bounce off his fingertips. It was right in his hands. It bounced off his fingertips and went right in the air to I think it was a linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. And it was real frustrating because, like, damn, I hate that they give those interceptions to quarterbacks when it's clearly not the quarterback's fault. It's just, I wish they would change that somehow. Obviously, people say, well, Sean, he's the one that threw the pass. But if a wide receiver drops it or maybe a player at the line of scrimmage, a defensive lineman tips it, you can't really blame the quarterback for that, dude. That's just shit. It's like he's trying to throw an interception or something. But yeah, Jalen was great. He's definitely on the top list as far as good. Also good, I got to give it out to Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff, the offensive coordinator. They called a great game. They did not try to be too cute. They did not try to do too much as we've seen for previous times when they're out there calling these plays. It was just a straight focused game plan, man. You run the ball, mix it up, balance. They did not have Jalen out there trying to be Superman every time. They kept the Vikings on their heels with the quick passes and, like I said, the running game with Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. The Vikings was doing very weird things, though. For some reason, they did not take what the Detroit Lions did last week to us as far as bringing pressure. The offensive line for the Eagles did great today, but the Vikings really did not bring any pressure. They played soft coverage, like shell coverage, I believe, the entire game to the point where Troy Aikman was even calling it out. The broadcaster for the game, him and Joe Buck was wondering why was the Vikings playing so soft when if you go back to the Detroit Lions a week ago playing the Eagles, they completely was giving us problems because they was bringing pressure almost like every down. Like they just let Jalen kind of sit back and pick them apart. But I don't know. Thank you, Vikings, for that. But yeah, like I said, the coaching staff did a good job. They're on the positive, the good list. Darius Slay, man, is a beast. He's an elite cornerback. I think sometimes people don't give him enough credit, which is ridiculous. Not Eagles fans. I'm talking about the NFL fans in general. When you rate top 10 corners, sometimes he doesn't even make people's top 5, actually, which is ridiculous. Darius Slay is a fucking beast, man. He did exactly what a lot of us was hoping he would do. Hell, with this entire Eagles defense, we were hoping they do. Because, again, they was going up against the Minnesota Vikings, which means they was going up against that man, Justin Jefferson. That's all the talk all week was people was wondering about. Once Monday night came, he was like, is the Eagles going to do enough to really stop Justin Jefferson? He's going to get catches here and there, but can they not allow him to really go off and get that exploding touchdown? He did not score a single touchdown today. I think he had, 5 catches or 6 catches for like 60 yards, but a few of those catches, them yards, was in garbage time when the game was over. The Eagles absolutely shut down Justin Jefferson. They did not get picked apart by him. They made it tough for him. I think at one point, Justin Jefferson slammed his helmet down on the sideline in frustration because he could just not get anything done. There was none of that dancing shit, none of that stuff. He did not get to do any of that today playing against the Eagles, and especially going up against Darius Slay. Darius Slay had 2 interceptions. The Eagles defensive whole picked off Kirk Cousins 3 times. So Darius Slay had 2. Avonte Maddox had 1. They rattled, and that's what a lot of people know. If you blitz Kirk Cousins, especially during a primetime game, Kirk Cousins has this thing where he'll just do the utmost dumbest shit as far as throwing the football. So the Eagles defense was great. They deserve to be on a good list. John Gannon, he's going to be on my neutral as far as good and bad because, like I said, as far as when you talk about good, he did bring the blitzes sometime. He definitely mixed up the coverages here and there as far as defensively, which I thought he did a very good job of, so I will give John Gannon that. But he also did a few bad things, which I'll talk about when I get to the bad section of this video. So yeah, again, Jalen Hurts, coaching staff, and defense. Darius Slay and them dudes absolutely balled the hell out. Those are definitely my good ones. There's also other good ones too I could point out, but overall, those were the good ones for me. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There's one last good one. Jalen Reagor. Jalen Reagor came back to Philadelphia. If you guys know my channel, it's my most viewed channel on my most viewed video on my channel when I told y'all I wanted Jalen Reagor going and everything like that. Jalen Reagor was back on the team, back in Philadelphia. He's playing for Minnesota Vikings now. And every time first of all, he got booed when he came out on the field for pregame warmups. He got booed immediately. And then every single time he went back for a punt return, because that's what the Vikings have him doing, which we had him doing before, which we found out was a mistake putting him back there because he's not a good punt return. He's not a good kick returner, whatever you want to say. The man sucks. So every time they had him back on punt return, the crowd was booing his ass. Like he stole something. They booed him every single time he went out there. It was probably one of the craziest shit to see for just a punt return. I mean, he would catch the punt, and if he only got 1 or 2 yards, they were just happy to see his ass get tackled to the ground. He could not do, And again, the Vikings will find out very soon that he's just not that good of a player, at least right now with them. Like, because they're using him the same way we use them. They did one in-around play where I think he had a really nice run that went like 20 yards, I think early in the second quarter. But again, when it comes to the punt return and special teams, he's just not as useful as the teams people might think he is, man. Like, we tried this experiment with him, and all this breakout speed and stuff, you don't really see much from him when you put him out there in punt return. So the funniest part, seeing Jalen Reagor out there and the crowd booing him, I thought that shit was so dope. It was great. It was one of the best things that happened the entire game. Like, they booed his ass every time he's out there. He dropped the pass, I believe in the fourth quarter. I'm so glad he's not on the team no more. So that was as far as the good. Like I said, Jalen Reagor getting booed, Jalen Hurts playing great, Darius Slay in that defense playing great, and the coaching staff as far as with the play call and stuff like that. As far as the bad, there's a few bad before I wrap this video up. Penalties, man. Penalties for the offense is, I think, the one big thing we all agree that's holding back this Eagles team as far as the offense is concerned. I'm not saying the defense don't commit any penalties, but the offense, if the Eagles can just clean up I know it's just week 2, so they have plenty of time to do it, but if they can really clean up their act when it comes to penalties on offense, they had way too many times. They had an eligible receiver downfield, player downfield, because offensive lineman, I think it happened 2-3 times where we had our lineman was down the field for some weird reason. We had holding penalties. If the Eagles could just clean that shit up, dude, their offense is going to be dangerous. I expect the Eagles to average 30-some points this season. I'm not joking. But the one thing I can hold us back is really those just dumb penalties that would actually affect us. The refs did make it easy, though. To start the game, everyone, including Viking fans, Eagles fans, even the broadcasters, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, was getting annoyed, man. As soon as the game started, it just was, the refs made it about them. They just called a flag and stopped the game. The play clock wasn't working. They was calling flags over ticky-tack shit. Some flags that was not, it really was a long first quarter because they would not stop. They kept stopping the game and calling penalties that was not even really good penalties. But overall with that, Eagles just gotta, that's the one bad thing I would definitely say. The Eagles have gotta clean up the penalties. They gotta stop with those ticky-tack, these penalties that you know the refs are going to call and really push your team back when you're trying to move forward down the field. And the last thing, like I said, I told you guys, Gannon gets a thumbs up in one part, but the other part, I'm giving him like a middle. It's like good and bad. The one thing I still think a problem with Gannon, I think a lot of fans get frustrated, is if you read Twitter, I know a lot of people say Eagles fans are never satisfied, but, and don't get me wrong, Gannon called a good game here and there, but I still think he has this tendency to not be aggressive when he should. If you look at this Eagles linebacking core, if you look at this Eagles defense in general, they have the talent, dude, to bring pressure and get to the quarterback, not just with this defensive line. I really wish Gannon, and a lot of fans wish that Gannon would be way more aggressive with his linebackers. Kazir White, TJ Edwards, and them dudes. These dudes can get after the quarterback. When he brought the blitzes at times during the game, he was frustrating. Like, listen, he was causing tons of headache for Kirk Cousins when we brought the blitz. I really, really hope down the road, bro, he does start putting his percentage up more when blitzing, because we have the talent to cover man-to-man and all of that instead of just sitting back with this soft coverage shit he likes to do. There was plenty of times in the first half that we did not even get a hand on Kirk Cousins, and I thought that was going to be where the game is going to get bad for us, and he was going to absolutely start tearing us apart, piece by piece, throwing it to Thielen or maybe dumping off to Dalvin Cook or getting it to Justin Jefferson. But thank God it did not happen. And I think in the second half, that's when Gannon started bringing more pressure and just kind of brought all-out blitzes and really bringing everybody to come after Kirk Cousins, which did cause a couple interceptions. But besides that, man, besides the penalties, besides Gannon at times when to do with his soft coverage shit, this was a great game for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. As a fan, it was fun to watch. Again, I'm going to sleep very well tonight. This was just fun to watch, man. We're 2-0. I believe next week we're on the road. Yeah, we're on the road. we're on the road against the Washington Commanders. We go up against Carson Wentz and them dudes who Carson Wentz and them lost yesterday on Sunday. They lost to the Detroit Lions. So divisional game on the road. I'm pretty sure the Washington crowd's going to be hyped, trying to give us our first loss. Carson Wentz is facing his former team. I always tell people I still like Carson Wentz. I don't think he's a horrible quarterback, but he does have a tendency to play that superhero shit. So if Jonathan Gannon, again, the defense coordinator for the Eagles, decides to dial up more blitzes and be more aggressive, we could probably get a good amount of interception, 2 or 3 interceptions out of Carson Wentz, because Carson has a tendency to definitely force the ball when he should just be throwing the shit away when pressure's in his face. So I hope Gannon looks at that tape and literally realize I gotta bring pressure and not let Carson Wentz sit in the pocket. But we'll get on to that when this week leads up to it. But again, guys, Eagles win 24-7. We are 2-0. Happy, man. I'm out. Peace.